This is a very short explanation of the Sustainable Development Goals and how they're formed. My name is Clem Silverman. Starting with the MDGs. The Millennium Development Goals, or MDGs, were agreed in 2000 and are due to expire by the end of the year. There's been good progress on many of the MDGs, and yet there is huge variability on the success of each goal on a global scale between countries and within countries. Some countries have done extremely well, and others have not advanced as hoped. In general, inequality has fallen, the extreme poverty rate has been halved since 1990 and continues to fall. MDG 7C, giving access to safe water, has been officially achieved. However, primary education and maternal mortality targets have not been as successful. It is a complex picture, and the MDGs have been criticised for data being too patchy, and LIDC has said in the past that MDGs reflect the silos and disciplinary boundaries between the health, education and agricultural sectors. And yet many believe that they have helped to focus resources, debate and discussion on international development. So what's next? The Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, are due to follow the MDGs. They were born out of the Rio+20 conference on the future we want in June 2012, the 20th anniversary of the 1992 Rio conference. 10 topics were discussed at that conference, which presented quite a broad canvas. It has led the way to the thinking that the SDGs must be an interdisciplinary endeavour. An SDG open working group was set up involving 70 countries, along with the UN-led consultation task team and a high-level panel, and a whole range of non-UN activities, including consultations with civil society foundations, the private sector, and the academic community. Whilst the process to arrive at the SDGs is convoluted, it has been a far more consultative process than the MDGs, which were developed by a small group of organisations and donors. This has been reflected in the current goals and targets that have been proposed. They're extremely varied. In September 2014, 17 SDGs and 169 targets were proposed. The SDGs will be applicable to countries at all levels of development, addressing some of the criticisms of the MDGs. Data will be collected on the equitability of the implementation of goals within countries as well as between countries, which is a major difference from the MDGs. In December 2014, the UN Secretary-General released a synthesis report that shook down these goals into 6 essential elements to facilitate member states' deliberations and to enable them to arrive at a concise, aspirational agenda. A key task now is to develop effective and feasible indicators to measure the implementation of goals. Proposed indicators are currently being examined by the UN Statistical Commission in consultation with the national statistical agencies. So far, of 304 proposed indicators, only 50 were evaluated as being feasible, suitable and relevant. Another 39 could be feasible with a strong effort on data collection. Clearly, more work needs to be done on measurement to generate the data revolution needed to monitor the success of future goals. This is where we are right now. We are now in 2015, where discussions are taking place to set the goals, but development of the indicators will actually go on into 2016. It is around the indicators where the contribution of the development research community may now be most important and influential. A summit to discuss financing for development takes place in Addis Ababa in July, and a high-level summit on the SDGs takes place in September, with a report into the indicators due in December. March 2016 is when the SDG indicators are likely to be adopted. Thanks for listening.